Hello listeners, I am Sheetal Sharad, Sector Head and Vice President at ICRA Limited, and through this podcast, I will be sharing our views on the Indian dairy sector. Indian dairy companies have been witnessing healthy revenue growth backed by strong revival in demand, especially in the value-added product segment. While business in the hotels, restaurants and catering segment or the HoReCa segment has been growing well, a long and harsh summer in the current fiscal also supported the pickup in volumes of cold value-added products. Liquid milk sales have also been depicting a steady growth. The festive and wedding season in the latter half of the current fiscal is expected to support this healthy demand growth. Thus, we expect a 12 to 14% revenue growth for our sample set of 6 large private dairy companies. However, their operating margins are expected to contract by 120 to 160 basis points in the current fiscal, given the cost side pressures. Raw milk is the key input material for dairy companies. In FY 2022, raw milk procurement prices had risen, led by healthy demand and constricted milk availability as a result of disruption in cattle insemination programs earlier during the pandemic. In the current fiscal, raw milk prices have continued to rise, owing to rising cattle feed and fodder prices for dairy farmers. This is because of various reasons. Erratic monsoons in various parts of the country impacted fodder availability, and rising prices of grains like maize, wheat and soybean led to soaring cattle feed concentrate prices. This led to higher cattle rearing costs for farmers. Apart from this, the prevalence of lumpy skin disease, particularly in the northern and western parts of the country in the first half of the current fiscal, briefly limited milk availability. Therefore, on the one hand, dairy companies have had to offer higher prices to farmers for raw milk procurement. On the other, they have been facing rising logistics, processing and packaging costs. Given the healthy demand expectations, we anticipate raw milk prices to stay firm in the second half of the current fiscal, as opposed to a typical price correction during the flush season time. To combat cost pressures, dairy companies have been hiking retail prices for liquid milk as well as value-added products. However, the support from these hikes on margins of dairy companies is expected to be partial. We expect companies to continue to announce price hikes, more so in the value-added products. In line with our expectations, the industry has also been able to liquidate skim milk powder inventory, which was aided by a good demand recovery in the institutional and HoReCa segments. ICRA also anticipates the industry to incur moderate capex, focusing on value-added product capacities. Credit metrics for dairy companies are projected to moderate in the current fiscal, that is FY 2023, due to margin pressures. Nevertheless, regular raw milk supply, a successful containment of lumpy skin disease, and a healthy demand outlook should help credit profiles of dairy companies in the medium term. Thus, we maintain our stable outlook on the Indian dairy industry. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for our upcoming podcasts.